Alright, this is Corey with Neurotic Knives. I'm going to do the full review on the new Medford TFF-4. Been carrying it every day for almost 3 weeks, I think. And that's enough time to, more than enough time to, do a review on it. So first, we'll just get into the meat and potatoes. This is an S35EN Tonto black G10 inlay and black hardware with black clip and made in the United States of America flag. And I gotta tell you, this thing is it's a joy to carry. Love this knife, I really do. And honestly, really can't find anything that I don't like about it, to be honest. I don't think there is. We'll get into that in a little bit. We'll start out with measurements. Of course, if you like the stuff, give me a subscribe. We're almost at 500. I'll do a giveaway. I've got something pretty good picked out. I've nailed it down to 2 different knives, but get to that 500 and do the giveaway, and I appreciate all you guys. So we'll just get into this. So the total length is going to be right at 8 inches. Blade length 3.5, cutting length about 3.5. Yeah, maybe, well, somewhere's in that area. 3.5 inch blade with about 3.25 cutting inches, something like that. Get a weight on it here. Just get all this stuff out of the way. Clear that out here. And say what you want about Greg, makes fantastic knives. 5 ounces, 5.5. Try that again just to double check. Oh, my scale might be off here. Do that, turn her back on. Try it one more time. 5.5, okay. So that's out of the way. Blade stock thickness. I don't need my calipers because, well, see if they're calibrated enough. It says 0.15. Give it a go here. I don't know how accurate my calipers have been here. Let's see here. Zero it out. Yep, 0.15. So right on the mark on that. Do some size comparisons real quick. I know everybody wants to see it against the Slim Midi. Somewhat the same, almost the same length, but Slim Midi, of course, is slim. Blade stock thickness is a little slimmer on the Slim Midi, just by a touch. Pocket clip on this is amazing. I'll get into that too, but so Slim Midi. What else we got here? Got the Zan comparison. We got do 2 more here. Hinder XM18 3.5, about the same length almost. And I love these 2. That's why I got the blue and black, because I pimped this one out to blue and black. So love both of the color combos on that one. And last one we'll do is the Microtech Silicon Elite. So it's smaller than that. All right, so when I got the knife, it was smooth already. I did take it apart, put some lube in on the bearings, and tiny little bit on the detent track. Didn't really need to, but the action is just incredible. So you can kind of push button it, you can fail it, it's easy, you can fail it. So you got to light switch it, which, I don't really like saying that term, but it is what it is. Light switch, perfect, beautiful action, smooth, buttery smooth. And then you've got these the cutouts. So you've got two different, so it's for your hands. So ergos are really great on this, somewhat neutral, but kind of your fingers can kind of fit, right in there on those. And what's interesting about the cutouts they did on here, so there's two of them, and you can, drop it from the top one or drop it from the bottom. And the access is, everybody wants a cutout right here, but that would take away from the aesthetics of the knife. I don't find any issues with getting to it. There's, it's nothing like the Slim Midi. I understand people don't like that, but this is completely different. It's not contoured. It does have some contoured edges on it, especially on, on your cutout relief. But, this is a Tonto dual ground, extremely sharp. Behind the edge thickness, I'm not sure what it is, but I'm gonna try here. Let's see. Well, 0.25, somewhere around there. So, and it's, my thing is, if you're looking for slicing, all you got to do, you don't need to buy a knife to look for slicing. If you're wanting something that's just going to cut cardboard nonstop, go to the websites, whatever knife you're buying, look at the blade thickness and the grind, and the, hollow grind, flat grind. Then you'll find what you want. It's no different than anything else. They all cut, the thickness on a lot of knives. They're all going to cut. They're all going to do it. They're all built for their own thing. But the main thing to me is, will they cut? Yes, they will. If I want something thin, I'll carry something thin. Other than that, it doesn't bother me because I don't break down boxes all day. So it came extra sharp. It's got these kind of cool lines in here that kind of set it off a little bit. I'm still going to call and see if I can maybe possibly purchase an inlay, or if they're going to start having an option where you can kind of customize it, kind of like Hinder or whatever, with, buying a different one, because I would just get a black Predator titanium one and screwed on from the inside. Carryability is awesome. The clip works awesome. Usually you've got a little tap on there from Medford. You don't have that on this. T25, I believe, on the pivots. These are 1/16 Allen keys, so they're small. I do like that they're Allen keys and not T6s. So if you go to take it apart, a T6 will fit in there, but you might end up stripping it. But I find using I believe it's the 1/16, and there you get a little bit deeper down and it grabs. The back strap kind of, and the glass breaker, very cool, not real, obtrusive, doesn't, it's kind of, you can barely notice it. I mean, you can see it, but you can barely notice it. But what it all comes down to for me is action, lockup, build quality, which Medfords are, incredible build quality. They're second to none. There's a lot of great makers out there, and Greg's one of them. You get your over travel stop, and it's just, just so smooth. Like I said, did take it apart, not for any reason. I just I always take, if it's a bearing knife, I take it apart and make sure it's lubed. And if it's not, I'll put some on there. Just because what I do, cutout bar, cutout reliefs on the inside like that. I can't really say much more about it. I'm trying to think here. It's the jimping on the flipper tab is perfect. It's not real sharp, but it's got enough bite. And you just get up on there, you just got to light switch that thing. Like I said, I can fail this all day long. Just got to put a little muscle in that finger. a little bit, not much. And, you know, that's kind of about it. I'm trying to think of anything else. Lockup's good, rock solid. Just overall, very well built design, nice and slim. So if anybody's looking for one, you know, a Medford flipper, you know, so like I said, I almost bought a Shiro instead of this one, and never could keep a Shiro in my collection, so I didn't know why I was trying to buy another one. But I mean, you don't get that, you know, detent where you just barely press, kind of like a Koenig or, you know, name your knife. You know, you do have to put a little effort into it, kind of like a Hinder or something. But it's set up real high, so it's just smooth. It's just, I mean, it's just super smooth. The finishes too, and it's just kind of contoured. You know, it's not, there's no sharp edges. Just a really well built knife. But so that's my take on it. Let me know if you guys have any questions that I can answer for you, if you need one or have a question, whatever. But I appreciate you guys watching. Go ahead, like I said, give me a subscribe and a like if you like the content, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.